Hello everybody, welcome to another Transformers third-party review. In today's video, thanks to the team over at Heat Toy, we're taking a look at the latest offering from Iron Factory. This is their Phantom EX-37S, their stealth version. This is basically a Legends size version of Mirage, done in his very stealth-like translucent blue. We'll just bring in special attention to the back of the packaging there. The whole thing is done in this translucent plastic with kind of an etched artwork embossed on the sleeve itself. And here he is out of his plastic prison. I think he squares up pretty nicely. It's not to everybody's taste, the Iron Factory series. They're more kind of based on, loosely albeit, the War Within, kind of the War 4 style of design with that IDW inspiration, but I like how Mirage looks. He definitely screams Mirage. He's got that really nice use of translucent blue, yet he still feels rather robust in terms of build quality. Sometimes when you get a translucent figure, there's always a fear that things are just going to snap and fall apart. That's not necessarily the case with this guy. He's exceptionally solid, and Iron Factory never really disappoint. It's just nice to see this much character and this much kind of expression captured on a figure this small. Now, away from the turntable, he's a nice big solid chunk of a figure. Up close and personal there, really good looking sculpt. Like I say, not overly G1 in appearance, but enough of a hint of the character there. Definitely drawing inspiration from the IDW style, much like Iron Factory are renowned for, but really nice looking piece. We have two different weapons. We have his gun, which can detach, and as standard it comes like this in the package. You just pull that down to allow it to be used in his hand, and then we get his shoulder-mounted cannon as well. We've even got the guillotine on the arms there as well, and we get an alternative toy style head, which again is done to a really high standard for a figure this size. Sculpt on Iron Factory has definitely improved no end over the last year or so. Very impressed with what they can produce. Now, in terms of scale, there are kind of two variations on scale at the moment, possibly three really, when it comes to Legends figures. You've got these New Age ones, which are kind of Legends, but the masterpiece figures done to a Legends scale, but then get the standard kind of Legends figures, and then you get the likes of the DX9 and Iron Factory, and then you get the kind of Legends Plus, which mech fan toys as well, which are kind of like the oversized versions of Legends. But it's not until you get all of these together that you realize just how tiny the New Age figures are in comparison. I mean, Mirage is a small figure, and then you compare him to the likes of these Insecticons, and he towers over them. Taking a quick look at the articulation before we transform him up. The head can rotate on a ball socket. Lots of range on there. You can move this section here in and out to allow for a little bit of ease. Shoulders can come out to the side on a ball socket. There is an upper bicep rotation in there. There's a bend on the elbow and a rotation on that wrist. The waist can rotate. There's no abdominal crunch on this figure, but for a figure of this size, I don't think that's necessarily an essential part of the articulation process. The legs can come forwards, backwards, out to the side. Upper thigh rotation in there, albeit it is very tight on this figure. There is a bend at the knee, and basically a superficial ankle pivot really. There's just the toes that are kind of hinged, which can come up, down, left and right, so you can get the illusion of a nice wide stance. But as far as the foot itself, nothing really moves along there other than the toe and the option to move that heel out a little bit. But I mean, this is more than enough in my opinion, for a figure of this stature. Now, switching out the head, it's not actually that complex, but it's just so small that that's the only thing which causes an issue. It's literally just ball mounted, like so. Just pop that off and pop the new one on, but the issue arises just because of the size, just because it's such a small piece. That's the only time it becomes an issue. Now, of course, Mirage, in all of his translucent goodness, does of course transform. To do so, you want to remove the shoulder cannon and the gun. You want to come around to the back here, and although these parts are absolutely tiny, there's these hinges just on his hips. Those are going to flip inwards and around to the back like so. This panel here is going to come down. This piece here comes away at the front like so, and this is going to come up, and these come up. Bring the wheels down to the front like so, so that this panel is up at the back, and this is going to come up and close like this. These can then close off. There's a small notch just on here which allows this wheel to go one way round, so it's going to come backwards, and then these are going to come in, and those are going to tab in together at the front. Bring the arms around to the back. You want to fold them around so you can see the fists. Make sure they're tucked in. Bend it on this hinge like so, and that means there's now a tab on the bottom here which is going to line up with the tab on the outer side of the car, and then this is just going to hinge into that void and tuck away on the outside, and then it's just a matter of lining that all up and making sure that that is slid and tucked in firmly into there. So again, make sure that the fist is on the inside, make sure that this section comes up, and just make sure that that slides in, and that's going to line up. And he says push, tab, and secure into position. We can then rotate the waist around like so. Bring these wheels out to the side, out to the side, and then just untabbing the knee. That's going to push away. That's going to rock backwards, and then these are just going to line up, and we can just push and tab the spoiler sections in together. Now, something I never had trouble with on the original, but I have found slightly with this one, is just because this is all the translucent plastic, these do not tab in as firmly as I would like. I think the easiest way of doing that is kind of just unfold the legs slightly and push and tab those in. But if we want to just move this tab back down, so we've got the circle peg, we can just tab the weapon in like so, and then we can just bring in the secondary cannon on top, and there we go. There is our translucent Mirage. I really do love translucent plastic. It's just that initial fear of breakage, but thankfully Iron Factory don't have that issue. It's a very solid piece, very much like their first several releases of this. Was this the third coloration of it? I think now, possibly the fourth. I think they do a purple one as well. I think I'm not sure. I'm losing track, but I do like this one. I like how it's kind of just that him phasing out, kind of his invisibility, and love the attention to detail. We do have rubber on those wheels, something we don't actually get with some Masterpiece figures these days, so that is definitely a very welcome addition. Can't say I'm a fan of the double gun thing on top there. I think that's kind of my preference, like so. Make sure they're all tabbed in, that's not sitting flush. There we go. There you go. Let me know your thoughts. Is this the first time seeing this mould? Do you have other versions of the mould? Do you think it's a necessity? Or is this just a small little luxury in these very odd times that we're experiencing? Thanks again to Heat Toys for sending this out. I really do appreciate the speedy delivery. I have the DX9 MP dead end en route from those as well. I will include a link in the description below where these can be purchased. And until next time, thank you all for taking the time out of your busy lives to watch my content. Really am extremely proud of where the channels are going at the moment. We're up to nearly 52,000 on this channel, and the KO channel as well is over 20,000 subscribers, and it's honestly extremely proud of what I've accomplished, and I wouldn't have been able to do any of it without you, the audience's help. Make sure you all stay safe in these very strange times and keep collecting. Until next time, from myself and the rest of the family here at the Collectables household, goodbye.